How we doing today, everyone? Got a banger of a video for you today. Today we're talking about the time where I took acid and went into school. This was a very, very dumb occurrence that I decided to take upon myself to do. And I don't know why at this point in my life I was taking acid a lot, mushrooms, just Molly, tripping like I don't know, at least every other day, like every 2 days. It was bad. Like any chance I could, I did. So at this point, I was getting ready for school. I had just gotten like a 10 strip to last me for like a few weeks. I gave some to some of my buddies like the weekend before, and we tripped. We had a good time. And I was like, I've done this enough where like I don't think it'll be a problem if I just, take it and then go into school. But that is not what happened. I was about 16 at this time. I had just gotten my car. I had never really driven on anything at all. Like, I only drove when I smoked, and like that was just a normal occurrence. And driving while tripping is just a fucking completely different experience. It is awful. It is no fun. It's like, think of you driving drunk, but then you're actually forgetting what the fuck you're looking at. Like, the line's just not there. It's wiggling, it's fucking moving. Oh, excuse me. You have no idea if you're actually going fucking straight or not. But my dumbass was like, getting ready for school, taking like my barn rip before I leave. I'm like, just debating it so hard. I'm like, fuck it. So I open up my tinfoil, I take off, like, I rip off a little fucking tab, and I just fucking toss it in. I was like, alright, it's only about like an hour drive to school, anyways. So if I dip now, it shouldn't hit me until about I get there. And by the time I leave school to drive home, like, my trip should be ending, or like I shouldn't be tripping as hard anymore. So that's exactly what I did. My dumbass just plopped that bitch right on my tongue, grabbed my keys, my car was already started, hopped in, and dipped out. And I'm driving, so pretty much my drive to school was across like the whole state. I ended up moving in with my mom, like my freshman sophomore year of fucking high school, and she lived halfway across the state from where my school was. So it was a drive and a half every day to get there. Hence why I had to get a car when I turned 16, because there was no other way for me to get there. There was no bus that'd pick me up. So I'm fucking whipping over. We go over like two different mountains, and then you go down the mountain into the valley, and in the valley is where my school is. So I get to top of one of these mountains, and there is a little dirt road that goes around a circle that you can see like the view of the mountain. So I fucking usually take that. I took that this day, and I packed a little bowl, was smoking around the little circle, and I just see like the sunrise, and I'm like, wow, this is fucking gorgeous. Just had a little mental moment for myself, fucking left, went back heading down to school. And so at our school there was like three different parking lots. There was a senior, junior, and a sophomore parking lot. Sophomore parking lot, they had to fucking park almost a quarter mile away from the school. It was fucked up, man. Like, you had to walk all the way from like the end of the road where the school started all the way up to your fucking classrooms. But I pull in, I'm fucking happy as can be. I meet one of my buddies down in the parking lot. We rip some fucking nicotine, I think it was Jules back then at that point. Ripping some fucking mint pods. We fucking heading to school. Excuse me, I just took a fucking rip. And so we get into school, and I'm telling my buddy all about it. I'm like, dude, like, I just fucking took a tab. Like, hopefully shit doesn't go crazy during assembly. That would be the last thing I wanted. So we go to our first class. My first class, I believe my first class was like English or some shit. So I go into English, and English class, I didn't really care. Like, the teacher was such a bitch. Like, I had problems with her all the time anyways. She was just kind of a cunt. But I'm sitting with my boys at the table. There's just like a bunch of us. All of us play football and shit. But luckily it wasn't season yet. And we're just chitting, chatting. Buddy's like, yo, like, how you doing? What'd you do last weekend? Blah, blah, blah. Told him what I did with my boys. Was like, yeah, we tripped last weekend. Had a great time. Got fucked up. They're like, yo, like, where'd you get the fucking acid? Blah, blah, blah. Told them, and they're like, oh, word, like, we should fucking trip. I'm like, dude, I'm tripping right now. I'm off a tab. Of course, me fucking being the stupid young kid I was, I told fucking everyone. Like, all of my friends I told. And that gave me the worst fucking paranoia ever. Because the more people I told, just the more people I thought were looking at me and knew that I was fucked up. And, like, bigger a chance it was for them to tell a teacher or something, like, what had happened. And obviously, if someone fucking looked close at me, you'd, like, look right at me and was like, hey, look me in the eyes. They could see my fucking pupils are huge, you know? But pretty much I get through that first class, and after the first class, we always had assembly on Mondays. So we all fucking go down to the gym. And this is where shit did not start going as planned. Right as we like sit down for the assembly, I don't know, probably last like 30 minutes to an hour, and I'm really just starting to feel it. Like my fingers are buzzing and shit, my feet are buzzing. I'm looking around and just like there's a distortion in the voice of like the presenter that's speaking at the assembly. It's weird to explain, but it was just like I'm like, yeah, I'm starting to feel this fucking acid now. Like I am definitely starting to trip. Like this dude sounds like his voice is bouncing off the wall and I'm feeling the waves of his fucking voice bouncing off of it hit me. And I think it was our headmaster that was talking. We always had weird shit going on during our assemblies. There was always like fucking kids performing some shit, like whether it be dance routines, fucking, magic, a band playing or some shit, There's always some whack ass shit. But I get out of assembly and I'm like kind of sweating, shaking a little bit. I'm like, ooh, okay. I need to like chill out. I believe this semester I had two music classes. So my second class was a music class, and then my last class of the day was a music class. So I go down into my music class, and I'm just fucking sitting there on the computer playing fucking, not playing, working on Logic and shit. I forget what I was doing. I was probably just mixing some vocals for my buddy back then to a beat. So literally all I did in that class pretty much was mixing and mastering. Then the other class was I would fucking record it for him and shit. It was pretty chill. It was a really cool class. My teacher in that class, Mr. Freebs, you a G, bro. You're the coolest teacher there for sure. Only guy there that was chill. Like, a buddy would take your dab pen and be like, I'm not gonna get you, like, suspended or anything. Just come back and fucking grab it after school, you idiot. That's all he would say. But I'm sitting in this class. My buddy's looking at me. He's like, dude, you're fucked. Like, the kid that I met up in the parking lot, he's like, bro, you are absolutely gone. Like, I'm just looking at you and you're just fucking stone faced. Like, your eyes are just wide as a motherfucker and just staring at me. Obviously, you guys can see like my eyes are pretty fucking low 90% of the time in most of my videos. I don't have bulging eyeballs. I don't fucking not staring a lot. So, like, the teacher just came up to me and started talking to me pretty much like had a whole 15-minute conversation with me about like what I was doing to the fucking vocals and shit. He's like, well, you can like beat match them with this, you can fucking what is it, quantize them with this, you can fucking there was one more. I forget what it was. It was pretty much just auto tune. Oh no, it was pitch correction. That's what it was. It was always such a pain in the ass on Logic to fucking bring up and do, and it took forever. It was like vibrato and pitch correction. Shit was no fun. But he was just showing me and telling me how to do that the whole time. I completely forgot and still continue doing like my own fucking thing after that. So we get to about lunchtime, which is like in between your second and your third class, depending. Sometimes you would go to your third class first for like half an hour, 40 minutes, and then go to lunch, and then you go finish your second class. Or you would go to lunch first, and then you would just have your second class fully through. And my third class was English. This had to have been a math or science or some shit like that. And when I get into the classroom, I'm just pooped, dude. At this point, I'm exhausted. My brain's just hurting. I've been at school for, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, like I'm just getting ready to fucking leave. But the trip did not like cease. I feel like because I was so paranoid and nervous throughout the whole day, it just made it go for longer, or I like tripped myself out and just kind of felt like it was hitting way harder than it should have. So by this class, I'm just not having it. I'm silent, just fucking sticking to myself, looking at my phone and shit, just head down writing. Math class was nothing really ever hard. Like I always finished work. It was kind of just the teacher sitting at the board talking about the problems we went over for homework. That was really it. Then back on to my music class, baby. Last class of the day. So last class of the day, me and my buddy go fucking sit in this music room and we're recording, and one of this fucking like random kids that we used to chill with comes down. Like we're like, yo, like how are you? He was a senior at this point. He comes into our little recording booth that you could like lock the doors on and shit. It was completely blacked out. It was a sound booth, you know? No sound or nothing getting through that bitch. And he sits down at like this fucking drum kit. I'm sitting with my buddy, just like I don't know, it's just a song he was doing, bro. I don't know how else to explain it, like, I was just mixing music for him and recording him. So, this kid that's at the drum kit, though, he pulls out a little baggie and fucking just chops up a little fucking line on the on the drum kit and fucking blows that shit. It's like, "Yo, y'all want one?" Me and my buddy looking at each other like, "Bro, no way. Like, bro, please do not do that shit in here. We have shit on us. Like, my buddy's tripping right next to me. Like, look at him. It's like, oh, my bad, boys. Like, you're good. I just wanted to come down here, talk a little bit. I'm gonna go back into the bathroom and fucking blow a few more lines. We're just like, holy fuck, dude. Get the fuck out of here. But after that class, it wasn't very eventful. I was just super excited to get out of school. And I get over to my car and I'm just trying to think. I'm like, fuck. I'm really a bit fucked up to be driving right now. And I believe I was bringing my buddy home at this point too. So he hopped in the car. He's like, "Yo, how you feeling?" Like, honestly, dog, this shit's fucked. Like, I'm still tripping quite a bit. Like, oh, it's fine. Like, just send it home. So the whole time I'm like driving up the mountain, I'm like the yellow line in the middle of the road keeps like it's almost like stacking on top of each other, but it's moving over to the left a little bit and to the right a little bit each time. Like it's almost like fucking pixels stacking on top of each other, but one pixel's off, and then the next side it's off too. It was fucking weird, dude. It didn't help. It was also cloudy as a motherfucker. But I go up and drop my buddy off, and he's like, "Dude, honestly, you can just like chill here for the night. You can stay the night here." So I text my mom. I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna chill at my buddy Al's house. Like, I'm gonna chill at Al's house for the night. If that's okay with you." She hits me back within like 5-10 minutes. She's like, "Yeah, of course. Love you. Like, did you go to school?" It's like, "Yeah, I went to school, of course." And so I just go up to my buddy's room. We fucking smoke mass amounts of pot up there, play some video games, and my trip kind of just simmers down a little bit. It wasn't really anything too crazy. I just wanted to share this story. Little bit of an acid trip during school. I already did the mushroom trip, so I might as well do the acid trip. If y'all enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. That shit really helps out, bring me into the algorithm, get a few more subscribers, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.